you have to embrace change. You have to be prepared to embrace change. That founder who didn't have a boss now has someone he has to report to, and it's a board that he has to report to and be accountable to.
Welcome to this episode of Sunny Silver Linings. Sunny's guest this week is Ben Tercha, Chief Operating Officer, Omega Systems. And now, here's your host, the founder and CEO of IT by Design, Mr. Sunny Kaila. Over to you, Sunny.
Hi, Ben. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sunny. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to our conversation.
I really enjoyed my time with you at Enable. I think that was the first time we had an opportunity to learn about each other, and I got to know a leader in the channel where I'm like, I want to interview Ben after talking to you about your journey and a lot of wisdom and industry experience. I'm like, I want to share these industry insights with the MSP channel. So I appreciate you taking time to join me today.
Yeah, thanks. I can recall that dinner fondly, and it was great to get to know you. And I appreciate you reaching out, and our conversation was great. Life, family, business. So looking forward to continuing that here today.
Yeah, and so let's start with a little bit about you, Ben. Why don't you talk to us about your journey, brief journey?
Absolutely. Yeah. So today I hold the role of Chief Operating Officer at Omega Systems. I've been here, it'll be almost 19 years this fall. I started with Omega in 2005. I like to say I was the first full-time engineer because it kind of catches people off guard. The company was founded by a husband and wife team. And they were doing everything. They were doing the quoting, they were doing the help desk, they were fixing PCs, they were doing project work. Back in 2005, MSPs didn't exist. We were VARs, right? We did project work. It was reactive support. The industry was just starting to kind of figure out this idea of help desk and proactive services. But my career inside the organization, grew from an engineering role into management. Probably about 10 years. We built our own private cloud data center to offer to our customers, and I took over management of that for some time period. I held a VP of operations role for about 3 or 4 years, overseeing all technical services, and I've been in my current role for a little over a year, overseeing inside sales, solution architecture, and all of technical services. So there's a new exciting opportunity or a new partnership to explore or an employee challenge to navigate. You can definitely rely on your prior experience and wisdom to get you through it. But you're always learning something new.
Absolutely. It's continuous learning. And there are 2-3 things that are always there. One is that overall hunger to the work ethic. So they have that dream, the big dream, the career dream, that hunger, the drive to support that dream is there. So curiosity and diligence behind that curiosity is what helps you keep going up, keep moving up. Relationships is another piece that you got to be able to nurture relationships where you don't build a relationship as transactional. You build those relationships that are meaningful, lifelong, deeper, being that person who stays in that team, in that company, because the relationships are important as well. So there are like a lot of things that I see in common amongst those leaders, those professionals, where they travel their journey and they really do well in their life from their career point of view to go from a kind of starting point to the highest position in the company.
Yeah. That's fascinating. The kind of the way you've studied that and broken it all down, and everything you've said kind of rings true from a relationship perspective. Sometimes I don't get to do that as frequently as I would like, but it's still important to me to walk the halls and talk to our project team. And I interface with our management team a lot during the day, but the people who are interfacing with our customers, sometimes I don't see their viewpoint or their perspective. So it's important to me to try to do that regularly.
Yeah. Now we want to share what you have gained as insights, your valuable experience with the world. So the question there, Ben, is what advice do you have for new MSP professionals, leaders, owners, those just starting out in the industry? And what do you wish you had known when you were first starting to have this journey in MSP world?
I'm going to start with the first piece of kind of what advice for new MSPs or SMBs starting out. My advice to them would be don't be afraid to be innovative, be different, try new things. The MSP industry, for better or worse, has largely been commoditized as of now. You kind of look back and say, well, Omega's MSP, how's that different from the X MSP versus Y, and so on and so forth. We're all providing service desks, we're providing patching and monitoring, and we have account managers. But what makes Omega different from the other MSPs is our secret sauce, our secret recipe, right? And so I would challenge those business owners and those people starting out is find something that you're going to make yourself unique and set yourself apart from everyone else in the industry. And there's many different ways to do that, right? I think the way we've done it has been really leading with innovation, right? I was preparing kind of a timeline of our services for a project and seeing how in the past 12 years we've released 12 different managed service offerings to our customers. That's the one thing that really I think what sets us apart from other MSPs, and just talking with other MSPs at conferences and just kind of helping them kind of navigate this business. So I'm starting to kind of bleed into your second question of kind of what had you known. This is harder than you think, and I kind of equate that to having kids, right? Before you have kids, you're at that stage in life where you don't have any children. It's just you and your wife. You're free to do whatever. And your friends have kids and they're like, oh my gosh, you won't believe what they did. And you're like, oh, it's not that bad. It's fine, And then when you have that child and, it's screaming and crying and you're like, oh my gosh, now I understand what they say. Now I understand what they mean. I kind of equate that to this role a little bit. You're working inside the business, but as you move up inside the organization, right, you're exposed to different things. There's different demands. There's different requirements. And the first couple months transitioning out of an engineering role several years ago into a management role was hard because you're kind of what you do as an engineer. Your job to engineer is fixing things. Well, now your time is spent on coaching and guiding and directing, and not so much working. So when you're filling out your timesheet at the end of the week and you see, you have 5 billable hours, you're like, what happened here? I'm used to seeing 100% billable. It's that kind of that shift in that role. It's expected, but it just means that your impact in the business is not in a billable status. It's helping the organization grow, and you're nurturing future leaders or maintaining some type of back office system. It's definitely a different type of business. I don't think there's, I talk with a lot of our customers, and, some are focused on, manufacturing, distribution. They have their own challenges, but, people view us as a technology company, right? That's, kind of, you're just the tech guys. And yeah, that's true to a point. But one thing I hammer home to our staff is we're a customer service organization. We're a customer service organization that focuses on technology. I think we'll talk about kind of maybe that customer service piece and people in a little bit, but I try to set the mindset and set the tone to our team is we aren't just fixing problems. Yeah, we're going to fix the problem, but it's how you go about fixing it is what matters and can set you apart in the industry.
We are providing tech skills and overall competencies to build solutions, sell those. But customer service, as you said, is what normally will differentiate the experience, right?
Absolutely.
People don't pay for tech solutions, people pay for the experience.
Yes.
And that is so important piece that I'm taking away from what you just shared. Now, is there any common mistake that you see MSP leaders are making when it comes to growing their business?
Yeah, I have a couple different thoughts on that topic. And I think it really goes back to, again, the customer service and success. The only way you're going to grow your business is by getting new clients and maintaining the existing ones you have. And those can be, handled by one group or different teams inside the organization, but they have to be aligned, right? And the biggest alignment is the alignment of your organization to your customers' needs. And the biggest, we'll say, mistake that I've heard and seen people make is not being in tune or being in touch with what their clients' needs are. And there's obviously ways to do that through, customer relationship building, CSAT scoring, but that's all the kind of the technical bits and bytes, right? It's the relationship that I think sometimes people lose sight of, right? If I were to give someone kind of like a piece of advice is make sure you know what your clients' needs are from you and how you can help, right? And how you can grow together. Because that's really, we use the term partnership, right? Is we want to be partners with our clients. Yes, we're here to handle the service desk and security, but when I work with the clients that I work with closely, I want to know how their business is doing. I want to know how my clients make money, right? I want to know if they're struggling. I want to know where they're going to expand. I want to know, are they going to bring new products online? Like when I talk with my clients, I don't talk tech. I don't talk tickets or new service offerings. Focus the conversations on them. Is what's changing in their world? Are there leadership changes? Is there a new ERP system? And that I think for me has helped to better understand our clients, but also shows a deeper connection from wanting to build a relationship with your clients and not just be a vendor. I hate the V word, right? I think everyone else you probably speak to would probably agree with that sentiment, because we aren't a vendor. We aren't just supplying one thing. Is for a lot of our customers, we're driving the entire InfoSec program, the entire IT stack. We are so critical to the customer success. We need to be aligned and on the same page. We can't just be viewed as, oh, I just call you to fix a problem. Well, we're more than that. We're technology advisors, solution architecture, road mapping. All these things are critical into growing your business, but also helping your customers grow. And we believe if our customers grow, we're going to be there to grow with them as well, too.
Yes. So we are very passionate about building winning teams, and even the conference Build It Live that is coming up in September, Ben, in Orlando. The whole theme is building winning teams.
Yes.
So I want to pick your thinking based on your experience, what are the success strategies that you have used in the past where it helped you build and keep high performing teams?
So I think we've said it 10 times. It's communication, right? But expectations. But we got to kind of dig into that communication piece a bit. You have to communicate in a way that your team can understand. And just because you said something doesn't mean they've understood it, right? Or understood the severity or the importance. And so learning how to, get the team to all, we'll say, speak the same language, or common language, or knowing how to communicate to your team in a way that they can be actionable upon it, right? That is definitely something that we've learned, because we've grown significantly over the past 3 years, and so we're bringing new leaders into the organization, some external, some through M&A, and kind of getting them exposed to our culture and how we grew, and get everyone kind of rowing in the same direction can be a challenge, right? And we can talk about those challenges and the ways we've navigated them. But I've seen that it's where people fall down is, some manager says, oh yeah, I relayed that message. Well, how did you relay it? How did you communicate it? It's being very intentful with the message you're delivering. So that's been big on our side from a culture perspective, is bringing everyone together, also under common core values, of how we're going to conduct ourselves for our customers. Omega, we established our core values, but then we bought now 4 other companies that had their different core values. So earlier this year, we kind of stepped back, and people are like, well, this company's core values, there's some overlap, but there's some difference, right? So people are like, well, you acquired our company, and now we're expected to adopt your core values. What are they? And it gave us the opportunity as a collaborated effort to bring leaders from each of our acquired businesses together and reestablish a new core values system and establish a vision and mission statements. And that is really what kind of helped bring the glue together. And that's been very important to us during our M&A growth, is when we go to look at that next acquisition, a lot of the times what we What we shy away from are the ones that aren't culture fits. They could have great financials, uh, great technology, great staff, but if there's a clear, distinct, we'll say misalignment of culture inside the organization, we know as we start to integrate, it's going to be a probably more of a challenge, and maybe not a good integration. That's definitely one thing that we look at right off the bat is cultural alignment, how the business was founded, how everyone conducts themselves, code of conduct, core values, customer service. All these things are kind of near and dear to our hearts and to our customers as well. Because again, we're a customer service business and they want to know how we operate. They want to know what we do for our staff. They want to know all these things because as a partner, you want to know who you're working with.
Yeah.
So that's I think is probably the biggest core ingredient is communication and just listening to everyone and pulling in everyone's ideas and thoughts. I will say COVID kind of turned that upside down, right? Everyone who's in the office is dispersed across the United States. So, mixing remote workforce within in office has also put a challenge on culture building, right? It's sometimes it's harder to build relationships over Teams calls, but if you're in the office heating up lunch, you have the water cooler talk, you can talk to people about, their day, their weekend, their family. But when it's a scheduled Teams meeting, a lot of people just jump right in and start talking. They don't get to build that relationship. All right. So we make intentful time for employees to build that. We bring people into our offices and we go to their offices and have team building events to help build that culture and build a stronger bond amongst the teams that are servicing our customers.
Yeah, no, thank you for sharing that. I mean, communication is really, really important. And so this is how I think about this. Like when I was hearing Ben, you say communication, that it has different meaning for different people, but there are certain pieces that are so critical, which is it's not about what we're saying, it's about what is being heard.
Yes.
Right. So it's overall paying attention to, is that person hearing what I'm saying? Is what I was hearing in your communication approach, that you want to make sure that people are hearing what leaders are saying. And normally what I normally share with my team as well is that if you want to bring any kind of change or you want to communicate anything, communicate change, communicate overall in general, you have to say the same thing 7 times, 7 different ways, 7 different kind of strategies. And then people will hear it once, or I will say, until you get sick of saying the same thing, people are not hearing it.
Yeah. Very true.
Like you got to be really feeling the sickness of saying the same thing.
Yeah. You have to have them say to you, okay, I heard you, and enough already. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other piece is the values. So values are really important. Alignment, especially when you are a growth company like Omega and different other companies are coming together where they have their way of life, their values, and then how do you be intentional about, again, communicating and finding that alignment. Without communication, effective communication, there is no teamwork, there is no culture, because culture will require communication. Okay, now, what is your advice to someone where they are thinking of taking that route as a company, as a leadership team from private to PE? But what is that one piece of advice that you have for other people in your role where they will be working for a company that is sponsored by?
Yeah, and we've experienced this ourselves through integrations of different companies. Is you have to embrace change. You have to be prepared to embrace change, right? Going from private ownership to PE backed brings in a lot of changes. That founder who didn't have a boss now has someone he has to report to, and it's a board that he has to report to and be accountable to. So that is a change. You can't kind of just think you're going to continue to do things the way you've always done them, right? Because that probably won't work out well in the end for either that person or for the company. All of that change is a good thing. And we kind of view this as if we didn't make this leap, we'd be holding the organization back and holding our employees back from their own growth as well, too.
Yeah, no, that is well said, Ben. And I see that in other companies as well. That I think one thing that which is common in kind of having that shift from private to PE is the growth, what you mentioned. So
Yes.
if people are embracing that change, that growth, like, okay, now there is so much opportunity for me, because now when rising tide will raise all boats, that now you have a lot more potential. Every single person is have the opportunity to create room for others to grow, and with that everything grows. So when a company grows, everyone and everything around that company grows, including our people and including our clients, where they get a lot more cash confident company as well. So, but it needs to be, I mean, it's for those people where they are growth driven, they are hungry for growth. And there is a lot more accountability for everyone to contribute at a very, very high level of contribution to grow. And if you're not one of those individuals, then it's not for you. That alignment is not going to be there. But if you want that, then understanding with that abundance mindset, that it's a great opportunity for you to grow your career, because everything is growing and you will grow as a byproduct.
Absolutely.
But thank you so much, Ben. I
Yes.
truly appreciate you, my friend. I appreciate you investing a lot of your time, sharing your experience, your thinking with the world. And with this experience sharing, there is so much impact, positive impact. There is so much value creation in the channel. And your contribution to this MSP channel through your life experiences is appreciated. And I will see you soon.
Appreciate it, Sunny. Thanks for the time and for having me on. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Sunny's Silver Linings. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.